Alrighty, folks, so we are back here with another live stream once again. This is kind of an emergency update stream. We have an unwarned tornado on the ground in West Texas right now. This is a confirmed tornado via Storm Chaser Storm Runner Media here as we take a look at their feed. Again, you can see that they have a large cone tornado on the ground, and if you're in this area, you need to run, not walk to your safe space. This is an extremely dangerous situation because this is an unwarned tornado. Give me just a second here. Again, you can see it on your screen now. There's the tornado. Again, large cone tornado on the ground right now in Texas, completely unwarned by the National Weather Service. But this is going to be approaching areas west of San Angelo here within the next several minutes. We have Connor Croft and Storm Runner Media on this tornado. Again, you can see the velocity signature there. A very impressive tornado currently on the ground near the old Freetog place. So again, if you're in this area, we need you to be running to your safe spot, not walking, as this is now a confirmed unwarned tornado on the ground. So again, I'm going to go ahead and get a community post out here. I'm going to share this stream with as many people as possible. I encourage you guys to do the same because this is a huge deal here. Give me just a second. Again, this is a large and extremely dangerous tornado west of San Angelo, Texas, as we speak here. Again, you have a live view of that. That is crossing the road that they're on right now. Look at all that deviant motion in the clouds. Wow. Look at this thing. Again, this is a huge tornado here. Give me just a second. Okay, so again, if you're in or around the West San Angelo area, you need to be getting to your safe spot immediately. Again, we have a very impressive velocity couplet now west of Highway 163. Again, this is reportedly a huge tornado, and there you go. There's your tornado warning. They've issued a radar-indicated tornado warning, but again, we've seen footage of this. This is on the ground, and this is a huge tornado. So if you're in this area, you need to make sure that you are seeking shelter on the lowest floor of a sturdy building, away from windows and in an interior room. Okay. So again, if you're in this area, make sure that you're seeking shelter. Again, thank you all for joining me here on this lovely Saturday afternoon. Again, I wish I was here with better news, but again, this is a huge tornado on the ground, which is technically still unwarned. Again, it has that radar-indicated tornado warning, but there you go. That is not radar-indicated. This is a huge, huge tornado. Look at that thing. Oh my goodness, that thing is gigantic. So again, if you're in this area, seek shelter immediately. This is a huge, damaging tornado in and west of San Angelo, Texas right now. Okay. So again, if you're in this area, you need to be running to your safe spot. This is a large cone, and even kind of a wedge tornado here, briefly, west of San Angelo. Again, this is going to be crossing Highway 163 legitimately within the next 2 to 3 minutes. Again, this is going to be approaching areas near and south of Sterling City. Again, a very, very dangerous situation here. We're actually starting to see a hook echo handoff, so we may actually see a little mesocyclone handoff here, so that may cause the tornado to briefly occlude. But as of right now, that is still on the ground, and that is destructive. So again, if you're in this area, we need you to be seeking shelter immediately. Again, this is a large and destructive tornado on the ground west of San Angelo, Texas. Again, that is a huge tornado there hiding behind the bushes on the left-hand side of your screen. Again, this is a dangerous situation for areas west of San Angelo. So if you're in this area, we need you to be seeking shelter on the lowest floor of a sturdy building, away from windows and in an interior room. Again, large cone tornado on the ground, fully condensed right now. You can see that thing. That is a monster tornado that we have ongoing west of Highway 163, and I don't see any signs of this stopping anytime soon. Again, this is an extremely discrete environment that has great parameters for tornadic development and potential. So there's a good chance that this tornado remains on the ground for quite a while. Again, you can see it. You got a wide view of it there. This is a huge, huge tornado that we currently have on the ground. Again, there is a tornado warning now for it, which is good, but it is a radar-indicated tornado warning. This is not a radar-indicated tornado. This is 100% on the ground, and it's dangerous. Again, we see it crossing over the road right now. Again, look at that motion in the clouds. Again, this is a tornado on the ground. We do have ground circulation here. You're going to be able to see it on your screen in just a second. There you go. So again, this is a huge, unwarned tornado in Texas. Oh my goodness. Wow. Look at that thing. Oh my goodness. This is unbelievable. Wow. Again, this is a monster tornado that we have ongoing west of San Angelo. Again, I can't even believe this. This is a confirmed tornado. Obviously, it's a huge tornado. I mean, I don't know why this is still at radar indicated, but look at that. What in the world? Look at how fast that's moving. That is a huge tornado. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Look at that new funnel. Large stovepipe tornado on the ground right now. Again, still got that clear velocity couplet west of Highway 163. Debris ball and the correlation coefficient. Yep, okay, so this hit something. It either hit a home or a farm or something out here. If you're in this area, make sure that you are seeking shelter. Again, this is a huge tornado that we have ongoing in west central Texas. Again, this is west of San Angelo, south of Sterling City. If you're in this area, you need to be running, not walking to your safe spot if you are in this tornado warning. Again, this is going to be crossing Highway 163 within the next, 3 or 4 minutes. Again, this is a deadly tornado now. Look at that thing. Oh my goodness. I can't even believe what I'm seeing. I mean, this is a huge tornado here, and again, it went unwarned for far too long. Again, this thing is giant. Wait for him to turn the camera back around. There you go. You have a live look at that huge tornado there. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Wow. Again, this is a destructive tornado warning. Again, this should go PDS immediately. Again, this is a huge tornado. But if you're in this area, you need to run to your safe spot. Again, this is a deadly tornado here, guys. Again, we were watching for the potential of a couple of tornadoes today and even a couple of strong tornadoes, but we are getting off to an unbelievable start here. Again, this is an unbelievable tornado that we have on the ground west of San Angelo. Again, just look at that funnel, dude. Oh my goodness. Wow. So again, if you're in this area, we need you to be running, not walking to your safe spot. Again, this is going to be crossing Highway 163 in between San Angelo and Stiles. This is a huge tornado. This is a monster tornado. Oh my goodness, dude. Look at that. Look at that ground circulation. Wow. Oh my goodness. Look at all that dust being kicked up. And again, this has been on the ground for quite a while now, too. It's been 10 to 15 minutes now, at least. Oh my goodness. Again, this is a large tornado on the ground in western Texas. New special weather statement just issued for another little supercell here developing off to the northeast near Robert Lee. But we've got to focus in on this because, again, this is a extremely dangerous situation for folks west of San Angelo, south of Sterling City. Again, this is a huge tornado on the ground right now in west central Texas. If you're just now tuning in, you have a live look at it from Storm Chasers, Storm Runner Media. Again, look at that thing. Look at that monster tornado. Again, large stovepipe tornado on the ground. I mean, this is insane. Wow. Oh my goodness, dude. Again, we were not expecting to see this early in the day, but that is an incredible tornado. in western Texas right now. Again, we had a debris signature on the correlation coefficient product, at least briefly. So, unfortunately, this did hit a home or a barn or something out here in this area. But, I mean, this is a nasty tornado. I think we just saw a power line snapped there as well. Oh my goodness! Look at that thing. Again, a textbook cone/stovepipe tornado currently on the ground in western Texas. Again, somehow this warning is still radar indicated. But we have, again, Storm Intermediate, Connor Croft, and Freddie McKinney all getting an amazing view of this large tornado. Again, if you're in this area, we need you to be getting to your safe spot immediately. Again, underground if you can. If you can't, get on the lowest floor of a sturdy building away from windows and in an interior room. Luckily, there's not a lot of people that live out here. This is an extremely rural area. However, I will say it gets a little bit less rural and a little more populated whenever we get closer to Sterling City. So we're going to hope that the tornado dissipates by then. But either way, monster tornado on the ground right now in Texas. So if you're in this area, we need you to be getting to your safe spot. Again, oh my goodness, dude, it's starting to look at that. It's starting to sidewind. My goodness. Again, this is a huge tornado here. Large cone tornado on the ground. My goodness, dude. Look at that thing. Wow. I've never seen anything like that in live time. Again, this is a incredible tornado here. We're seeing a little shower develop here on the reflectivity presentation just near where our tornado is, unless that's the hook echo becoming disassociated with the actual supercell. There's a couple things that could be, but my goodness. Wow. Look at that stovepipe tornado. Wow. Again, this has been on the ground for about 20 minutes. Look at that. They're even acknowledging that this is a large tornado confirmed by Train Spotter, and this is still a radar-indicated tornado warning. Again, I don't know how that happens, but if you're in this area, you need to be seeking shelter immediately. Look at how violent that motion is. Wow. Oh my goodness. Again, this is an incredible tornado. Again, this is huge. Huge. Huge tornado on the ground in Texas right now. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Wow. So again, if you're in this area, you need to be running to your safe spot. This is a extremely dangerous situation. It's, oh my goodness, dude. What in the world? Wow. Again, looking at the velocity presentation, hard to see much of a couplet at this point, so it's possible that we're seeing a mesocyclone handoff. But, I mean, either way, that was unbelievable. Is that where the tornado was? Did it just dissipate? My goodness. Well, either way, that was unbelievable. That was incredible. If you're just now tuning in, we just had a huge tornado dissipate in west central Texas. But that makes me think that this other supercell is going to try to do something now. So again, if you're in this area, you need to be staying in your safe spot. Again, this is an unbelievable situation that we just had. Again, that was on the ground for 15 to 20 minutes. It was on the ground for a few minutes before we were live as well. So, unbelievable tornado there west of San Angelo. Wow. Again, that went from it was a large cone to a stovepipe to a rope. I mean, at the beginning of its life cycle, you could even, kind of consider that a small wedge. I mean, that was just unbelievable. But, anyways, wow. Again, look at that. There's the funnel remaining. Again, that was incredible. So, again, we're watching for the potential of a couple tornadoes and maybe a brief strong tornado today across portions of western Texas, but also back into portions of the Central Plains. I would not rule out an isolated supercell developing some rotation, potentially getting tornado warned, as we've got ourselves a pretty decent environment out here today. But again, the greater potential comes further down to the south, where we've got those really high instability values. Even by 9 p.m., we could still be talking about a couple strong tornadoes being a possibility, anywhere from West Texas back through sections of northwestern Arkansas. But again, once these storms congeal into a line, I think that tornado threat decreases significantly. But the best chance for a couple of tornadoes comes from about now to 8 p.m. or so. And again, we just saw the start of that. Again, that incredible tornado that we had there on the ground for a while west of San Angelo. Again, it is interesting that they decided not to upgrade that tornado warning to confirm, since they literally acknowledged that that was on the ground. But we'll see what their response is to that, but I'm sure they're going to face some community backlash to that, unfortunately. But again, either way, just an unbelievable tornado there that was on the ground for, 20 minutes or so, north of Old Freetag Place, Texas. Again, a crazy looking velocity couplet there. And again, you can see where that meso handoff just occurred. And our supercell off to the east of this is likely going to continue to wrap up more here in terms of a tornado threat. You can see that area of inflow poking into the storm there. We've also got a little sill merger coming in, so we'll see if that enhances the tornado threat with this thing. But, I mean, either way, just an unbelievable situation that we just had. Yeah, Freddie did cook, and so did Connor, and especially Stormwater Media. I mean, that was probably one of the greatest tornado captures I've ever seen in live time. I mean, that was incredible. Wow. Again, we saw the tornado on the stream at its largest point, but it was on the ground even for about 5 minutes before we went live. But again, either way, unbelievable tornado there that just occurred west of Highway 163. Again, unfortunately, it looks like this tornado hit something because it did briefly pick up some debris. But the good news is that that debris signature was very light, and it was on the radar there for a very brief period of time. So, anyways, again, if you're just now tuning in, incredible tornado just captured from the Sterling-Tom Green County line in western Texas. Wow. It's entirely possible to with the character. Again, especially seeing a start to the event this early makes me concerned for what's to come later in the day. Again, the fact that did not even get pushed to observed, let alone PDS, little concerning. But, again, obviously everybody makes mistakes. Nobody's perfect, but I mean, that was a big oof there from the National Weather Service, because they acknowledged in a report that there was a large tornado on the ground, and then they never bumped it up to observed. So pretty interesting stuff. But again, 100-mile-an-hour gate-to-gate shear with that tornado, so quite intense there for a brief period of time. But yeah, I mean, that was crazy. We were not expecting to see that this early in the day. I will tell you that much. Again, incredible tornado just occurred west of San Angelo. We've got something here, whether this is a wall cloud or whatever, we're not too sure at this point, but we got something here on Stormwater Media's feed again. Look at that motion in the clouds just in general, though. That's incredible. Well, yeah, but they have to issue it. They have to upgrade it to observed if it's on the ground. An observed tornado warning has nothing to do with the fact that there's population in an area. An observed tornado warning means there's a tornado on the ground and we've seen it, or it's been absolutely 100% confirmed by radar, and that one was both. So, again, either way, just incredible tornado that we just had there. West of the San Angelo Metro. Again, if that was in downtown San Angelo, there's a good chance that would have gone PDS, and depending on the strength, we don't quite know how strong it was, but from the velocities that we saw, it looked quite intense. So good chance it would have went PDS. But either way, incredible tornado there. And again, very glad that it missed the San Angelo Metro, because that is obviously an incredibly populated area in West Texas. But anyways, again, we are here now for at least a while longer, watching these supercells develop in western Texas. Again, we're gonna have these. We're gonna watch these to have the potential to produce a couple more tornadoes as we go into the evening time hours. Instability values are actually quite high in this region, ranging anywhere from 2,500 all the way up to 3,000 in some locations. So definitely not going to be lacking any of that in this environment. They just condensed the tornado warning. Okay, I thought they were gonna push it to observed, and I would have laughed, but. Again, tornado warning remains in effect for portions of Highway 163 there. Again, at this point, any sort of tornado threat would come east of Highway 163, though, southeast of Sterling City. The tornadic supercell that we're dealing with now in this area is going to be approaching Water Valley and Highway 87 over the next half hour or so. So, again, if you're in this area, be prepared to seek shelter if necessary. But again, as of right now, no signs of an ongoing tornado. But again, that was definitely not the case just half an hour ago. I mean, that not even half an hour ago. That was like 10 minutes ago. I mean, that was an incredible tornado. Reminds me a lot of the Hawley tornado. Just in a much less populated area, luckily. But again, you can see what was happening here is we had that broad rotation develop, and then eventually it just exploded here for whatever reason as it was west of 163, and then it went on to produce a very large tornado, quite frankly, west of Highway 163. Again, I wasn't sure if we were going to go live or not because I'm going to be honest, I am a little tired because I've been very busy today, but whenever I saw that it was that large, I knew that we kind of had to do something. So, again, here we are. But either way, just unbelievable tornado there that just occurred pretty much along Highway 163 in West Texas. Again, looking down at the street level, I mean, there were legitimately no roads or anything out here. These are just, like, hills and small mountains. So... The good news is again, luckily it didn't hit anything too substantial. We do believe that it hit at least like an outbuilding or a farmstead at some point because there was a brief debris signature on the correlation coefficient product. But, I mean, looking out here at what there is to pick up, quite frankly, it's not a lot. Not really anything at all. So, again, hopefully that was just like a construction, or not a construction, but a like a highway sign that it blew over or something. But, again, for at least a very brief period of time, we did have a debris signature there. But, again, very intense tornado west of Highway 163 that just occurred. Is chat frozen, or is just nobody saying anything? I can't tell. Type 1 in chat if things are still good. But, again, unbelievable. Chat's good? Okay. So, new severe thunderstorm warning just issued. That is going to not be going out for parts of Texas, but back into Ohio. Yes, we are tracking severe storms today all the way from portions of the Great Lakes region back in through West Texas. Again, this is a severe thunderstorm warning just issued for Hillsborough and the west side of Chillicothe, Ohio, for the threats of 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and some small hail. So if you're in this area, make sure that you are moving indoors immediately. Again, that severe thunderstorm is going to be moving to the east-northeast towards Bainbridge, Bourneville, and eventually the Chillicothe region. But yeah, again, that slate risk of severe weather for today going all the way from sections of upstate New York back to the Texas-Mexico border. Quite frankly, one of the longest but skinniest slate risks I've ever seen. Again, we are seeing over 65 million people today facing at least a marginal threat of severe weather going all the way from New England back through Mexico. So quite a significant, widespread threat for severe weather today. I will tell you, though, the further northeast you go in that slate risk, the greater that tornado threat's going to decrease. By the time you get to like southern Illinois, you're really just talking about a wind threat, and really an isolated wind threat at that. I think that by the next Storm Prediction Center update, a lot of this area here will be downgraded to a marginal risk, if that even. But again, the main concern for significant tornadoes and large hail today comes Texas, specifically western and central Texas, near the San Angelo metro region, back up through Abilene, Texas, Graham, Texas, and surrounding areas. Again, this is not a very populated region of the country, which is good. In fact, this is one of the most empty locations that you could ever see an enhanced risk of severe weather in. But again, it is worth noting that there are still almost 500,000 people that live out here. So even though this is a relatively unpopulated region, we've still got folks out here that may be watching. So we're going to help them out today. I know we've got a lot of viewers from like Abilene, Texas, and other portions of Central Texas. So definitely something that we've got to watch out for today. Again, we just had an unbelievable tornado there. I keep voice cracking, but we just had an unbelievable tornado there west of Highway 163. I'd go as far to say that that is the most impressive Texas tornado that we've seen so far this year. I mean, that was incredible. But anyways, again, just a beautiful tornado there. And again, luckily it missed any sort of civilization out here in West Texas. So, no, they're not going to issue a tornado watch for Oklahoma and Texas. They went with a severe thunderstorm watch, which really shocked me because in the mesoscale discussion, they mentioned that tornadoes were going to have the possibility to have a wind gust up to 130 miles per hour or greater, and then they issue a severe thunderstorm watch instead of a tornado watch. But again, obviously, they know more than we do, or at least more than I do. So again, going to trust the National Weather Service and the Storm Prediction Center on this one. But in my opinion, if I were drawing these polygons, I would have personally issued a tornado watch across portions of Texas here because the instability values out here and the soundings that we've been able to pull from these regions are quite frankly incredible. Again, I was pulling PDS tour sounding after PDS tour sounding all morning long in this region. I kind of knew that this was going to be a pretty significant day, not only for huge hail, but also tornadoes. Those lapse rates are very steep. Again, we've got ourselves low wind shear, which is also something that's usually a little bit more favorable for large hail events. So definitely quite a favorable hail threat than more than anything else. No, Arkansas, no, we're not going to see a tornado watch today at this point unless they issue a tornado watch further off to the northeast here. I guess it's technically possible for parts of Oklahoma and Texas, but I would doubt it. As by that point, our supercells are mostly going to have congealed into one line of storms as they push east-northeastward. So again, gonna watch for a couple more tornadoes here over the next little while, but again, I'm quite tired right now, so there's a good chance that this is a short stream, and then we come back later tonight when necessary. Again, I was just chilling, and then I see that there was obviously that beautiful Storm Runner Media feed tornado there, and I kind of knew that we had to go live at that point, but again, was not planning on going live this early day. But here we are. Again, the weather does unexpected things. By the way, speaking of weather doing unexpected things, last night in northwestern Arkansas, we had a decently strength tornado near the Fayetteville region. It has not been rated or anything like that, but just based off of pictures of damage that I've seen in the reports that we've gotten of like destroyed outbuildings and stuff like that, looking at kind of EF1 to EF2 range intensity damage there. So again, prayers for all involved in that northwestern Arkansas tornado. We also had a possible tornado impact portions of southern Illinois. Actually, there was reports of what was straight line wind damage in Salem, Illinois, but there was also a velocity couplet right on top of the regions that those reports came from. So it's kind of iffy on whether or not that was just intense, very intense straight line wind damage or an actual tornado. Again, there were similar reports of what we saw from Arkansas, like outbuildings destroyed and stuff like that. So it could be an either or situation. We're not going to know until the National Weather Service goes out and surveys damage. But what's up, Jesse? Again, we did have a confirmed tornado, at least last night in northwestern Arkansas. We know for a fact that that was on the ground. That one was also radar indicated for a lot longer than it should have been. But again, they did eventually upgrade that tornado warning to observed. Apparently, we have a new mesoscale discussion. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is some new information here. They have now upgraded the most probable peak intensity for the tornado threat to being 120 to 150 miles per hour for any tornadoes that develop within these blue or purple circles here. Again, you can see they note that the best chance for additional tornadoes at this point are going to be in that purple circle there from Sterling City back through San Angelo, and that's what we want to see because this is an area where almost nobody lives. Again, in total, that purple circle there holds about 20,000 population, or 20,000 people, so Although it would be better if it was, 0 people, it's a lot better than that, region being closer to San Angelo or Abilene or some of these actual cities and, civilizations that we have out here in Texas. Also worth noting that they mention hail up to the size of large apples to softball being a likelihood in the severe thunderstorm watch polygon, and damaging wind gusts up to 70 miles an hour being a possibility. But again, a couple of strong tornadoes now being noted by the Storm Prediction Center as possible as we go later through this evening. Again, oh my goodness, so we have a observed tornado warning here again for our tornado warned supercell west of Water Valley and south of Sterling City, Texas. So reportedly, this is a confirmed tornado once again by weather spotters. So if you're in this area, we need you to remain in your safe spot. We're likely going to see a new tornado warning get issued here very shortly for areas off to the northeast. So be prepared to seek shelter if you are along Highway 87 between Carlsbad and Sterling City. In fact, I'd just be getting there now because this supercell is getting pretty dangerously close. Again, that tornado would be located right in this region, most likely along 2034 Road in far rural west central Texas here. Give me just a second. Okay. So again, now a confirmed tornado by weather spotters once again, west of San Angelo and Carlsbad. Okay. Again, trying to get this updated here on the stream title and everything like that, so give me just a second. Alrighty. So, again, another tornado confirmed now with this same supercell approaching Broome and Water Valley, Texas along Highway 87. Again, this is a weather spotters confirmed tornado. So, if you're in this area, again, we need you to remain in your safe spot. Again, remember this, not this supercell, but a supercell that was conjoined with it for a little bit, had a history of producing quite an intense tornado along Highway 163. So, again, the potential that this tornado is significant is there. So if you're in this area, we need you to be remaining in your safe spot. Absolutely. Again, we've got a lot of spotters out here, so we're going to get hopefully the most accurate reports possible out of this. As this confirmed tornado now approaches Water Valley and Highway 87 in western Texas. All right. Well, whenever you get out there to Water Valley and you see that it's not on the ground, I'll take that. I'll take that as true. But for right now, if National Weather Service and weather spotters are confirming that that's on the ground, we're going to say it's on the ground. So again, if you're in this area, you need to be remaining in your safe spot. Again, reportedly, the confirmed tornado report was sent in at 4:26. So we'll see what happens, but you can see it through virtual streams. What is that supposed to mean? There's not any cameras out here. So, again, we're going to watch for some of these other supercells further down to the southwest to do something similar. As this is, again, quite a favorable environment for the production of a couple of tornadoes. I'm not trying to fight, I'm just genuinely asking how you know 100% that that's not on the ground. Well, I don't think there's any chasers out here at this point either on this supercell right now because there's virtually no roads out here. But again, if this is warned as observed for right now, at least we're going to treat it as it's on the ground because the first time that we assume that it's a false alarm and that it's not on the ground and that it is delayed from earlier is going to be the time that it's actually on the ground doing damage and threatening people's lives. So again, we're going to be under the assumption here that this tornado is on the ground until further notice. Again, if you're in this area west of Water Valley, you need to be seeking shelter immediately along Road 2034. Again, either way, this supercell is producing extremely large hail here along Highway 87 in between Sterling City and Carlsbad. Again, you can see that hail core. If we take a look at the vertically integrated liquid signatures, we can see that they're maxed out along a huge swath here. What's up, William? How's it going? So again, if you're just now tuning in, we had an incredible tornado on the ground about 20 to 25 minutes ago, west of Highway 163 in Central Texas, south of Sterling City, confirmed by Storm Under Media, Freddie McKinney, and Connor Croft. Yeah, I know, right? This area is like the most unpopulated region in the entirety of the United States, so that's the good news. But again, we did at least have a briefly confirmed tornado. Again, it was on the ground for quite a while via storm chaser feeds, and it was quite large at a point as it was west of Highway 163, but just a beautifully photogenic tornado. It went from a small wedge to a large cone to a stovepipe to a rope to eventually nothing. You can see the entire process of it, which is beautiful. And again, luckily this is in an area where virtually nobody lives. But we did briefly have a debris signature on the correlation coefficient, so we did at least, for a couple seconds, likely see something get hit there. But again, definitely not as big a deal as it would have been if that were, 20 to 30 miles off to the east and that we're in San Angelo, Texas. That would have been a huge, huge issue. So, new severe thunderstorm warning just issued for Stiles in Big Lake, Texas. This is kind of covering multiple supercells here along Highway 67. The most impressive one from a tornadic standpoint would be the one west of Big Lake and east of Rankin, but it's not very discreet, and it doesn't have a great positioning right now. So, we're going to hope that kind of kills the tornadic potential with this supercell. I will say either way, though, these cells have had a history of producing monster hail. I mean, we have had, probably 10 to 15 hail spikes already on our supercells today. And I am suspecting that we're going to end up seeing a lot more because this is, again, a near-perfect setup for large to very large hail today. Again, we have relatively low wind shear in the lower levels of the atmosphere. We've got those very high lapse rates. We've got cell merging occurring. It's basically the perfect setup for large hail. And again, we've certainly seen some of that already. We haven't gotten a whole lot of reports, but we have seen hail on chaser feeds and such. But we're not going to get hardly any reports out of this because, again, virtually nobody lives out here. Again, this entire enhanced risk that spans over 20,000 miles, close to 30,000 square miles, only has 400,000 people. So, if you didn't believe me, I mean, there you go. Very sparsely populated region. Now, again, there are larger metros in this area, and whenever these storms get closer to those regions, that's whenever we really have to pay attention. But for right now, while these cells are in one of the most rural spots in the country, we've got to sit here and enjoy the beauty of them. So again, Storm Under Media right now in Sterling City. They are going to be back on our supercell here within the next 10 to 15 minutes. But we'll continue to watch this here. Whoa! Alan with the $50 donation. W. Allen's in the chat. Oh my goodness, folks. He did it again. He tried to be sneaky about it, but we saw it. W. Allen's down below in the chat for the $50 donation. Oh my goodness, guys. Alan is the GOAT. Alan is always here. He's always incredible. He's always supportive. Alan is amazing. So, Alan, if you're still watching, thank you so much, dude, for the $50 donation. That is incredible. W. Allen's down below. Let's go. And also, William with the $10 donation, and right whenever we were ending stream last night, another $10 donation that I missed. So W. William as well for, again, the $20 donation. Wow. Again, that is incredible. Thank you guys so much. That is amazing. Again, Alan and William are awesome. They are just unbelievably amazing to this community. So, again, thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. That's amazing. So, again, thank you so much, Alan and William, for the incredible generosity. Wow. That's amazing. So, again, William and Alan in the chat. Yeah, I don't even think Alan's here anymore. He's just amazing. He just pops in. It's like the John White story. Anyways, I would talk about that more, but again, we're starting to see this hook echo become more defiant here. I guess I was late and this had touched down somewhere. Yeah, so we had this tornado occur just west of Highway 63 for about 15 to 20 minutes. It was quite large at a point. Again, if you go back in the stream, we had Storm Under Media's feed up. They had an incredible view of that tornado. It was one of the most photogenic tornadoes we've seen so far this year. It was west of San Angelo, east of nowhere, south of Sterling City. Again, legitimately the most rural area in Texas that could be occurring in. Again, the nearest town was about 20 miles away, and that was Sterling City, which, even if it was in Sterling City, obviously that would have been bad, but Sterling City has a population of like 1,000. So, again, we are going to hope that we see these tornadoes today occur in an incredibly rural area, because, again, we know that they're going to happen, but the good news is that this is such a sparsely populated region that it is entirely possible that every tornado that occurs today is in an area where nobody lives, virtually. And that's what we're hoping for. Because, again, we don't like to see big, destructive monster tornadoes unless we're absolutely sure that they have a 0% chance of hurting anybody or damaging anybody's property. And there are a lot of areas where stuff like that could happen today. So again, today is one of the only days where we're going to be hoping that we can see some big, beautiful, photogenic tornadoes, but only in those areas where nobody lives. Because again, there are still population centers out here. Obviously, the main one is San Angelo, but you can't forget about Abilene, Texas. Abilene holds, I want to say, about 50,000 people. Let me go and fact check myself on that. Abilene, Texas population. Population. Abilene's actually about 125,000 people, so a little more populated than I thought. Again, San Angelo, about 100,000 to 200,000 people as well, so there are still people that live out here, but again, they're very localized regions, so if we can see all of that activity outside of the areas where people live today, that would be incredible. But yeah, from the most recent mesoscale discussion, the Storm Prediction Center has mentioned that a couple of strong tornadoes can't be ruled out through the evening time hours today across our portion of West Texas here that has those increased instability values and is going to be able to produce cells that interact well with our boundaries and such. Again, we've got ourselves actually quite a favorable tornadic development today for a couple of supercells. And again, nobody said this, but we said on our community tab, you know, I wouldn't be shocked if this goes 10% hatch risk. It didn't, but honestly, at this point, it's looking like there's a good possibility that this will verify as a 10% hatch risk tornado event. Now, I don't want to say quite that just yet, I guess, because we've only seen one tornado so far, but just the intensity and the duration of that tornado, there's a good chance that we will continue to see more tornadoes as we go later into the evening time hours. So again, we want everybody out here in western Texas to be on high alert today. Not only for tornadoes, but also for large hail. We've already seen reports of large to very large hail across far west Texas, and those cells that are producing that are going to move off to the east. And then, of course, damaging winds as well can't be ruled out. That's mainly going to be a nighttime threat, though. We're going to be talking about damaging winds up to 70 miles an hour being a possibility, all the way from Texas back through upstate New York. Again, this is going to be a huge, widespread event today. By the way, Tomorrow's event, as we said last night, the 10% tornado risk will likely move into portions of Arkansas. That is legitimately exactly what happened. We now have a 10% tornado probability within 25 miles of any given point from sections of central Missouri back into northwest Arkansas. Now, you may be thinking, well, why is there not that black hatched indicator that I usually see with these 10% risks? And that is because the storm mode for this event looks relatively unfavorable for the production of strong tornadoes. Now, is it impossible that we see discrete supercells out ahead of our line? No. In fact, we're expecting a couple. But are there going to be very many? Absolutely not. Now, remember, you can still see strong QLCS tornadoes. There's definitely been situations where we have seen that. A really good example was the Whistler, Mississippi EF3 that we had just a couple months ago. However, it is much, much less common to see something like that. I personally think that the biggest threat for tomorrow is going to be a significant damaging wind potential from sections of Missouri back into portions of Arkansas and even far west sections of Illinois. We currently have a 30% damaging wind risk outlined for sections of the Central Plains and the Mid-Mississippi Valley. And again, I personally believe that this will probably get upgraded to a 30% hatch damaging wind risk because, again, you can just see that nasty QLCS developing there on the radar, even on the NAM 3-kilometer model, which usually isn't super high resolution for things like this, but we can clearly see that development of a large QLCS and potentially even a low-end derecho event for tomorrow. Now, again, it's a little early to be throwing out the terminology like that, but we will see what happens as we get closer to this event. But I will tell you right now, no matter what happens tomorrow, we're going to see some damaging wind reports. So our tornado warning for Sterling County here is going to expire within the next minute. Again, if you're in this area at this point, you're fine. The supercells moved off to the northeast, and the rotation looks significantly less impressive. But they have remained with a severe thunderstorm warning with the tornado possible tag on it. So keep in mind, if you are west of Water Valley, that this rotation is still going to have the potential to re-intensify and produce another tornado as this area crosses Highway 87. So don't let your guard down. Make sure that you are moving indoors and away from windows, as we are expecting some extreme hail with this supercell, if nothing else. So anyways, again, if you're just now tuning in, incredible tornado about half an hour ago now, west of Highway 163 near San Angelo, Texas. Again, it was a beautiful tornado. Congrats to all the chasers that captured that one, because that was a good one to bag. I will say that much. That was a beautiful, beautiful tornado. It took so many different shapes, considering the environment that it was in, and that the fact that the supercell wasn't even discrete. It stayed on the ground for quite a long time. But anyways, just unbelievul stuff. I mean, it's been a crazy first hour or so of this event. We have been actually seeing supercells that have been producing large hail and damaging wind gusts even since late this morning across portions of Texas, but they've really only started to capture any sort of significant tornado threat right about now as the peak daylight heating hours are starting to come in. That instability, all that warm, moist air starts to become more prevalent. So give me just a second. Again, I got to update the title because we no longer have a tornado on the ground. But anyways, incredible stuff. How do I get the warnings at the top of my screen? That is a question that unfortunately I cannot answer. Because, I mean, I could answer it, but then I'm not supposed to. Wow, so we just got an upgrade to this severe thunderstorm warning with our supercell that previously produced our monster tornado. This is now a destructive storm warned for baseball-sized hail and damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles an hour. So if you're in this area, seek shelter immediately. Again, this is for sections of Highway 87 in between Carlsbad and Sterling City. This is a destructive hailstorm now. Again, Storm Intermediate's got to get out of there because they had their windshield cracked legitimately less than 48 hours ago, so that would be a huge bummer if they lost it again. So I'm going to imagine that they're going to leave that supercell there pretty quickly. But again, baseball-sized hail now likely associated with this supercell. And again, I believe it. If you look at the vertically integrated liquid signatures, you can see that we've got a huge swath of large hail here, now crossing Highway 87. Also a big-time hail core associated with a couple of our supercells further down to the southwest. Specifically the storm near Big Lake, you can also tell it's trying to develop a hail spike. which is not technically a meteorological feature, but it is a radar feature. And again, you can see that hook echo there in that area of inflow poking into this storm. However, this is significantly going to be reduced in its tornadic potential due to the fact that it has legitimately become conjoined with another supercell. So, anyway you slice it, it's going to be dicey tonight in northeast Texas. Not necessarily northeast Texas, more so central Texas. But yeah, for sure. And again, damaging winds and large hail still going to be a possibility all the way back through the Ohio Valley and the Great Lakes region. Actually, this morning, we did have some significant damaging wind reports come northeast of Indianapolis. We had a couple of considerable severe thunderstorm warnings last night for sections of eastern Indiana. Damaging wind gusts up to 70 miles an hour, knocked out power, and knocked over trees in portions of the Indianapolis metro, and then also areas off to the east-northeast. Some of these areas just recently impacted by that significant tornado that we had earlier this month. Or was that last month? I believe that was March 31st, so that would have been, or March 30th, so that would have been last month. But, again, watching some supercells develop out here back into sections of Pennsylvania. These are not going to be tornadic, though. I don't know why I made that arrow so massive, but I did. New severe thunderstorm warning just issued. That's going to be going out for our Ohio supercell that we mentioned a while ago. This is approaching Chillicothe and Logan. If you're in this area, make sure you're moving indoors immediately. Some quarter-sized hail and 60-mile-an-hour winds. It's not really a supercell at this point. It's more so a QLCS. But we'll see. Yeah, there's actually a very interesting NATOcast outlook from a few weeks ago. You could see there was a 15% hatched tornado risk across most of Dixie, and then they had two 30% hatched risks. I'll let you guess where the 30% hatched risks were. They were Nashville and Jackson, Mississippi. And whenever you start talking about things like that, it's pretty clear that it cares more about population bias more than anything else almost, which is why we don't necessarily like to rely on the NATOcast forecast too much. Look at that, the storm spotter dots make an X. That is actually insane. Look at that. Huge chaser convergence out here. X marks the spot, I guess. That is hilarious. Anyways. Again, honestly, good chance that we're not live here for too much longer, just due to the fact that I need to get some rest before we do our big stream later this evening. We did actually just get that tornado warning reissued there for the supercell that we've been watching for a while now, so again, as we mentioned, Water Valley, you need to make sure that you are seeking shelter immediately on the lowest floor of a sturdy building, away from windows and in an interior room. We do have Storm Chasers, Dale Scale and Garrett Thompson on this thing. Again, just excuse my voice cracks. But if you're in this area, seek shelter. Again, this is now starting to get into a region where people actually live, so we kind of have to pay a little bit more attention. That's for parts of Tom Green and Coke counties. So, stay safe out there, folks. Alrighty. Okay. So, again, starting to see more information come out about the tornado that we had in West Texas just moments ago. Again, not seeing any major reports of damage or anything like that, obviously, because there's legitimately nothing out here to hit. It was in the mountainous portion of West Texas. But we're going to wait and see if that changes. Again, at the very least, that was a pretty significant tornado. So, again, we did briefly have a debris signature, but we're not sure what that was. But anyway. Oh, wow. Tim Marshall actually got a view of this tornado. You know what? I see somebody making the comparison. It did kind of look like the tornado on the cover of Twister. It does kind of resemble that. I mean, Twister was just based off of your classic Southern Plains mid-April tornado, so makes a little bit of sense. But anyways, again, if there is another tornado with this supercell, Storm Media is going to have, once again, a perfect view of it. They position incredibly for this. But again, nothing as of right now, but that could certainly change here shortly. New severe thunderstorm warning just issued for Old Freetag Place for quarter-sized hail and 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. If you're in that area, make sure that you're moving indoors. But again, obviously, our main focus has to come on our tornado-warned storm now in portions of Tom Green and Coke counties. Again, this does not include downtown San Angelo, but it does include areas to the northwest. Eventually, this cell is going to make its way towards Robert Lee, which obviously last year, incredible EF3 tornado near Robert Lee, Texas in May. But okay, so again, Summer Media is going to have a perfect look at this thing if it does anything. Let's hear what they're thinking.
I got baited into going north because everyone else went north.
Okay, so yeah, at this point, the supercell's very clearly becoming a little bit more messy with its reflectivity presentation. The voice cracks are unavoidable today. If you are new here, make sure to like and subscribe. We are officially 42 subscribers away from 4,100. Again, we do this every day for areas all across the country, even whenever nobody else is live or here. So, again, we're going to continue to watch our storm approaching Robert Lee as it tries to plant down another tornado here. Again, we're going to have a near perfect look at that if it does try to do anything. Again, you can see that scud there. Stands for scattered cumulus under deck. 99% of the time, harmless. All right. So we're going to watch this, but for right now, it's pretty evident that this supercell is struggling to do anything. So, again, tomorrow we're going to be dealing with another pretty significant threat for a couple of tornadoes and especially some damaging winds across portions of the mid-Mississippi River Valley as well as the eastern plains. But after that, we're going to calm down for a little bit, a very brief period of time, but all of our long-range forecasting models have all liked the idea of another round of severe weather coming for the plains here relatively soon. If we take a look at the 12Z run of the GFS, come on, load any day now, literally any day. Okay, there we go. If we take a look at the 12Z run of the GFS, we can see that as we go into the mid-portions, I guess kind of the mid-portions of this week here, late portions of this week, we're going to be talking about another threat for some severe weather across portions of the southern plains. Again, just a very favorable position trough for significant severe weather events. For anybody wondering about April 27th, looks like we could end up seeing something. That's all I'm going to say for right now, because we are still 200 hours out, so it's basically just wish casting more than anything else. But Alrighty. Yeah, at this point, it almost looks like our supercell's trying to... I don't know why my arrow keys aren't working, but they're not. It's trying to develop a new hook echo off to the west. But, anyways. Again, look at that train of storm spotters. That is unbelievable. I mean, these are legitimately 50% of the National Weather Service San Angelo certified storm spotters. There's not a lot of them out here, but all the ones that are out here, they are on this supercell. Freddie McKinney actually had a spotter dot up. Alrighty. But anyway, I think that we're going to end off this live coverage here and then come back later when necessary. Because, again, I need to get some rest so that we can be ready. I also need to finish up on the December 9th, 2023 tornado documentary, and that will be coming very, very soon. If you haven't already, make sure to go subscribe to the second channel, Davis Does Games, as we do weekly Twisted videos over there. And we're also going to have a new weather-related Minecraft series coming out relatively soon on that channel. That's all I'm going to say for right now, relatively soon, because not everything's set in stone. But again, thank you all for watching this video, and I will see you, or this stream, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.